Hello. Today we're going to work on graphing an expense function. If you look at the problem, it says the cost to produce an item is $7 each. The fixed costs are $28,000. That will give us our expense function. Then we have the demand function is Q, which is equal to negative 500p plus 30,000, where Q is the quantity the public will buy given price P. So, if you recall, the expense function is V plus F, variable plus fixed, and the variable costs depend on the quantity that's produced. So, on our problem from the first sentence, we plug in the 7 for the variable costs and the 28,000 for our fixed costs. We now have expense as a function of Q. But we want to be able to graph expense as a function of price. So if we look at our demand function, quantity is given in terms of P. So if we take this expression, the minus 500p plus 30,000, which equals Q, and plug it in for the Q there, which is what this step is, it's substitution. We then just do a couple of math things. We distribute the 7 times this, and we get this and that. 7 times minus 500 is minus 3,500. 7 times 30,000 is 210,000. We don't distribute it plus to 28,000 because it's not inside the parentheses. We then combine the like terms, the 210,000 plus the 28,000, and we now have our expense function expressed in terms of price, which is what we want to do. Now we're going to be graphing. In this class, we're going to be graphing using Google Sheets. So Google Sheets can actually do most of the graphing for you. However, you have to tell Google what X values you want to use. If we look at how we're going to be graphing in this class, it's going to be mostly just the first quadrant. P is going to be our horizontal axis and expense our vertical axis. We're not going to worry about negative price, we're not going to worry about negative expense, we're just kind of dealing in the real world business where all our numbers are positive. So to find out what window we should set our horizontal axis up to be, we're going to set our expense function equal to 0. Because along this horizontal axis, expense is 0. So I plug 0 in for the E. And then if we solve that for P, I added the 3,500 to each side. And then I divided by 3,500, and I get P is equal to 68. That tells us when our expenses come down and hit 0, the price is going to be 68. So we need to set our axis up from 0 to 68 in Google Sheets. And when we meet in class today, I will show you how to do this. This was the prep work done before. This was the math, the prep work you had to do before we go to Google Sheets. Okay? And I believe a little bit higher. There you go. The whole thing is visible. That way you can always pause the tape there if you need to see what we did. I'll see you at class later. Bye.